So folks, here are all the parts, at least I think I've got all the parts out to make the trailer or lumber wagon. As you can see, some are obvious. The wheels, which are just like the wheels that will fit on the front. There are 6 in the set, fit on the front of the traction engine. The 2 main chassis frames, that's the rear one, the slightly larger one there, and the front one. Main tube for the chassis itself, rear axle, front axle, towing hook or drawbar, a headed pin, 4 uprights that you can place into the top of the frames once it's made, if you want to make it into actually a lumber wagon rather than just a trailer. That's as it says in the instruction book. The clips to hold the wheels on the end of the axles, they fit on the end of the axles, 2 grub screws, and a very small Allen key, which may come in handy on other things, because a couple of the tools I've picked up second hand, Mamod tools, have got Allen grub screws that I haven't got an Allen key small enough for, so hopefully that'll do that. So not a lot there at all, and it shouldn't take long, he says, to put it all together. Right folks, first part of the assembly is the front chassis frame and front axle. Front axle just slots into the base of the front frame. In the top of the pin on the axle there's a groove all the way around which aligns with the hole in the frame itself. Obviously I've got to align that and tap that in place. So fitting the hook, quite simple. Put one end hook over the axle at the one end and slide it up the axle, and at the other end, just in this case it doesn't seem I'm going to have to do it, but you might have to just spread the hook slightly apart to get to the other end of the axle and then pull it back in line. One thing though, make sure your hook is down. So this is the front of the trailer. There's the front face. It says Mamod on it, so you shouldn't be able to get that wrong. Get that showing forward, and as you look at it, the hook's facing down, so that'll clip nicely, just drop into the back of your hook on your burner tray, back of the scuttle. Next, take the main tube, push it through the front of the front chassis frame, and the instructions say to position it about 3 centimetres from the end of the tube. Now, to be honest, you could please yourself what you wanted to do with this, because you could extend it or shorten it as you like. And I dare say, if you really wanted to, you could get yourself another bit of tube, as long as you like. Be a bit strange perhaps having it too long, but you know, it's feasible. So anyway, we'll put that in about there. That's about an inch, 3 centimetres, about an inch and a quarter I suppose. And now, without all that falling apart, we have to secure that through the top with a grub screw. Doesn't drop off, no. Through the top, through the main recess in the top, and gently screw the grub screw in. No need to absolutely tighten it madly. It grips quite nicely into the tube. Now for the rear, same thing. We'll get the grub screw on there, ready. We'll slot the rear frame onto the end of the tube. Now I've fitted it with the Mamod showing backwards, it's neater. I dare say that is what's recommended anyway. And again about 3 centimetre, inch and a quarter on the tube, lined up on the tube. Put another grub screw in. Just nip it up. Now those should be quite level because it's on a fairly level surface, so we can sort that at a later date if it is a bit skewy. Now folks, next stage, as you see, it's already done up for the most part, is thread the rear axle through the base of the rear chassis frame. Put the rear wheels on, boss side in, that's the thicker sticky out part, inside the wheels, drop them on the chassis. Then, and I've had trouble with these before, mainly just because they're small, you're supposed to put the clips on the end of the axles to stop the wheels coming off, and you put them on and push them on. I can't get purchase on them like that. What I have done in the past is got two pieces of wood so you don't damage anything. Hold one on the one side and I give it a little tap, usually goes on quite well, and then do the other side. However, I'm going to do one before we start. So, I've removed the axle. Obviously folks, I'm doing this off my own bat. The instructions say not to do it this way. Well, they don't say to do this way at all. So if I'll move into the frame so you can see what I'm doing a little bit. There's the clip. I'd probably get away with the hammer, but the usual piece of wood for this sort of thing I haven't got, so just gonna just like that, and hopefully you will see that that's on quite nice and straight. Now I'm going to push that through into the chassis and do the other one. So, one axle, one wheel, push it through first. That's the boss I was on about. Put that inside, thread it through the chassis, put the other wheel on, upside down, get a clip at the top, keep it level, make sure that the trailer can't be damaged, and I'm going to do this without editing. We'll see how we get on. There you go. Not bad at all. I was expecting that to be a little bit more fun. So, next on with the front. Right folks, as you can see, the front wheels have been pushed on the axle, the front axle of course. Boss side inboard. I've pushed the one clip on the end. I haven't done the other side yet because I'm struggling to keep it on. Right, this one folks is a bit of a pain because I can't hold the clip in place. Whilst I put it on. So again, I'm not putting any pressure on the wheels, that's the end of the axle. Got it. I think that's on pretty good as it is, but we'll just get a little bit of a tap. There we go. All that remains to do is to readjust the front frame with the Allen key. Make sure it's level. That's about it, I think. Snip that up. And there we have the uprights. Again, these will require a bit of a tap. Not putting any weight on the frame, I'm actually lifting it up off the ground to do it. course using the wood doesn't hurt any metal. There we go. See what it's like, see if it's low. Ooh, my eye's a little bit out. Pretty easy to do it now the uprights are on, and about it. And there we go. It's shorter than the originals, but quite nice. I like that. It's it probably fits the length of the original traction engine. So there we go, folks. All nicely put together. Everything levelled out, and I must say I do like the colours. For comparison, here's another one that I've had for some years, made earlier by Mamod, of course. Different wheels, different colours, about a third longer than the kit one. Nice to have something a little bit different, and I don't know, perhaps a bit more in keeping with the length of the traction engines, I don't know. Anyway, here's some original foam logs to complete the look, and I'll see you next time.